What's going on, everybody? Today we are installing an Alcantara steering wheel onto the F80. This is the one with the red stitching. It is also an OEM that's just reupholstered with the M stitching. It has the OEM heated steering wheel function still. And today we'll get on with the tutorial. Alright, the step one is to remove the negative terminal on the battery, which is located in your trunk. You'll remove this panel right here to access it. To remove it, you just use a 10 mil, and just make sure you put something underneath so it doesn't accidentally connect when you're doing the steering wheel install. Additionally, just make sure you put something right here where your latch is for the trunk so it doesn't accidentally close on you, and that would just be trouble. The F80 steering wheel, which is very similar to F82 and F87, they're all being held by a spring that just uses a flathead screw. Poke it, then the airbag should pop right out right here. You don't need to do any prying or anything. There's one on this side and one on the other side right there. Once you get that out, you would just need to unhook all the wiring, and there should be a 16 millimeter, and loosen that and it should disconnect right away. So I went and did the prong. The next thing you want to do is you just want to get let me get a better angle, get a flathead and just pry this out right here. With the airbag removed, I will just show you really quickly where the little prong or clip that holds the airbag together, that thing where I was showing you at first, you see how this thing is pushing the prong. So there's a little clip on the back of the airbag. So you do it to both sides and that comes right off. The next step is just removing this and this wire and removing the 16 millimeter bolt. Once that's removed, it should come right off. Okay, so next is removing the bolt, and we just use the ratchet. It's a lot easier, but before it goes all the way out, just make sure this is loose so you don't yank on your face. That's gonna hurt. So here we go. Okay, bolt right there. That's done. Now, before you take off the steering wheel, just pay attention. There's a little notch right here on the little steering wheel bolt column. You want to match this little notch on the steering wheel itself to this little notch right here. Okay, I'm going to remove it now. 1, 2, 3, there we go. The next step is you want to remove this trim piece right here. What is holding it is there's a T20 right there and another T20 back right here. So let's go ahead and start removing that. So that's removed. Put this aside somewhere, somewhere safe where you don't break it or anything. Okay, the next step is to remove the buttons. After that, it'll be unplugging the heat sensor and the lane assist departure little mechanism right there. So to remove the buttons, you're gonna want to use the T20 and unscrew the back. As you see, I just got a little metal tray here so my screws don't be moving everywhere. Okay, here's that. Okay, so after that, everything should pop right out. But before you do that, it's actually a really good idea just to take a picture of the orientation of the wires. It is going to help you a lot later when you are doing this. All right, so I'm gonna start moving this. Okay. There's one more screw here. This is just the ground, so just remove that. Oh, that's very tight. That's done. So I've removed most of these wires, so the next is just to transfer this whole thing on the bottom over like that. Okay. All right. Before you do that, you want to transfer this little piece. To get this little piece off, you just need a flathead screwdriver, or you might be able to use your finger. No, you cannot. All right, so here we go. Just want to be very careful to not break this. Okay, so that came off. Okay, once that comes right off, you just get the other side. Okay, so you just want to unhook that. Now, the old steering wheel goes bye-bye. You might ask what this little funky thing is. This is actually the lane sensor, where you depart the lane from the lane and it just wiggles this thing to tell you that you're departing your lane. Who uses that? But you know, who knows, right? Put this back in. Make sure it goes all the way in. Brilliant. Now, time to move all this over. Right here. Before you do that, you want to get around. once that is done, you put that trim piece back in. All right, let's get that trim piece. Make sure the black one goes here. Okay, let's do a quick check, see everything's to be flush. That's flush. Okay, that's pretty flush, I think. Let's make sure everything's flush. Make sure everything's tight. Okay, so the transfer's done. Now we just got to bring it back to the car. All right, the next step is once you put the steering wheel back in, making sure that the notch is correct. So this pin, it should be in the center of this notch right there, as you can kind of almost see right there, this notch. The notch is off, but like this is broken, but yeah. After you get that, you just plug things back in. Making sure everything is plugged in. Okay, and just screw this back on. I'm just going to use the impact just very slowly. Okay, once it's good, you want to torque it to spec, and it is at 62.5 Newton meter. Okay, let's go. Okay, there we go. This is not going anywhere. After that, it's just putting the airbags back in. You just plug in the airbags like this. Once it's clipped back in, making sure all the wires is nothing's in the way. Should go right click. Get it. All right, both is in. Perfect. Now, you want to reconnect the battery and test if there's any error codes, but that's pretty much the install.